Okay, I have started recording. I sure hope this works. Oh, my camera just randomly turned on too. So I guess they're seeing me. At any rate, okay, this is November 16th, Dev Diary for um, Colony Wars Redux. This is a team. We've got Dan, Justin, Matt, Chris, and me in the Discord, and we're just showing off what we did this week. So, who wants to go first with their updates?
I vote for somebody who actually has updates.
I guess I can go first. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, sure. Do you have anything you can show? Because I can capture it.
You know what? I don't know why, but Discord is crashing Unity for some reason. I don't know for sure if it's Unity or Discord. Hopefully, I didn't break the game and then upload it. But if somebody can pull that from the cloud and play it, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Justin, it looks like Dan's working on one of the models. Justin, do you want to throw open Unity and see if you can play it?
I am also having a similar problem with Unity. There is, I think, it's missing some code in one of the scripts, so there's a problem with that.
No kidding.
Oops.
Huh.
And I mean, right as you said, also that Discord was crashing your Unity, my computer just turned off for a moment and then opened back up, and now Unity's not working.
Oh my god. So
Yeah,
this could be a
that's weird.
Unity level issue.
I was playing it just fine until I opened up Discord and allowed like the microphone chat.
Dude, when do you guys want to quit Discord just long enough to see if that's the
Is
issue?
it possible that it's affecting Unity?
That
I mean,
sure
it's some
would be
coincidence that both of our computers at literally the same moment.
Well, I mean, did you get the latest version that I uploaded though? I'm thinking maybe did I break it? You know, do you have the latest
Yeah,
version?
I got the newest version, and I had a Unity open for like an hour, and then just now it turned off.
Hmm.
Ooh, I wonder if something is broken. Great way to start a dev diary, guys.
Yeah, this is a great first
Makes
impression.
us look like we know what we're doing.
Yeah. Murphy's Law, right?
Murphy's fucking law.
Okay, well, I can just talk about what I did.
Okay, yeah, just talk about what you did, and we'll watch Dan model, and then I have some
Okay,
stuff to show.
so I implemented the regular laser and the anti-shield laser, and then the seismic lance.
Okay.
So I used all the effects that you pointed me to, Alex. I think I got them right. You know, the weird thing about that is the video that you were showing me with the timestamps or whatever. Like the FX and the project aren't actually named like the same things.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, so I had to kind of dig through and try to figure out what was what. I'm not sure if I got it completely right, so you'll have to hopefully get your hands on that.
Yeah, as soon as I can
demo.
take a look, I'll look at it.
And I can always send you the build if you need me to.
Yeah, try that. Try sending me the build. That's cool. So the seismic lance, there was no in that that VFX, there was no preset for like a constant beam. How did you solve the seismic lance issue?
There was a beam.
Oh, there was.
There was a beam, yeah.
Oh, weird.
It's
Okay.
just using a line renderer, so I'm using a raycast to determine how far the line renderer should be rendered.
Okay. Out of curiosity, if you notice in the actual Colony Wars in the build version that Justin had put together, if you notice the anti-shield lasers and the anti-hull lasers, the front of the lasers were flanged outward. To kind of give them, I guess, a better sense of speed. Are we able to do that with our VFX?
Well, I don't know, not with the VFX that's included, but Justin had an effect that he was using for that. So I don't know if you're-
that was actually a model. That was literally geometry I had created.
Right.
What I was hoping was that we would be able to produce a similar effect with the VFX package.
Maybe changing the particle size over time might have that effect.
Okay. Because right now they're just lasers, I bet.
Well, they're all particle systems. So if you change the particle size by time, they can reduce their size over their lifetime. So then that would give you the tapering effect.
Okay. Yeah, if you want
So
to
I
play
can mess
with
around
that.
with that. Yeah, I could. I also did all the impact stuff. Now, one thing I was curious about was so the big ship when you start, that's a friendly ship, right?
Yes, yes, it should
Yeah.
be. Actually, no. The very beginning one is an enemy ship, and then the one that spawns right afterwards is friendly.
Yeah.
Which one's the big one? Is that a bad ship or a friendly
There's
ship?
two big ones. There's the civilian transport, and then the leisure barge, or the tribe gunship, and then the leisure barge. The leisure barge is the green one that I think was Dan, the last model that Dan contributed to the project. That's the good ship, the green one. Where the more flat one with like exposed parts, that's the enemy.
Okay, because the decal system works on the one ship that looks like the player ship, but not on the larger ships.
Yeah, there aren't any decal hitboxes on that yet.
So that's just something that's going to be coming along.
Yes.
Okay.
It requires a specific type of. It's very weird how the decal system works. It's most of the decal systems on the asset store were they cost money, and a lot of money at that, because a good decal system is hard to come by. But this one that I found was free, but it was like half finished, so I had to do a lot of just fixing it, I guess. Yeah. So the result is sort of glued together.
Is there not some way we could do that with a material? Like I was looking at that decal system and I was like, I'm not even gonna go in here because this is nuts. Like whatever's going on here.
I mean, what if we could just purchase a new decal system, just a solution to get us to the demo? I mean, how expensive are we talking? Are the decals?
Well, I think it works. The one he has works. It's just really. I don't know if there's like an easier material.
Decals work by just sort of creating a custom mesh for something that you place an object on top of another one, and you mold this object's mesh around the other one. And that requires you to access a lot of features that Unity doesn't really want you to access. And I just, like a month ago, figured out a way how we can circumvent that requirement. And it takes a bit of just like getting around different issues to do. But it's really just I have to add a new mesh to the each ship that we add and give it a filter to make sure it works.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was curious about because it was like all this crazy mesh calculations and stuff. And I was like, can't like a material just plop a decal onto like the object's UVs or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know nothing about graphics really.
Okay. Maybe a material, something to look into for the future. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe a material
cheaper.
solution. I mean, if we can find something in the asset store. Justin, when you said that you saw them and they are expensive, how expensive are we talking?
I think most of it most of the solutions are for, bullet marks. So it's if a gun fires at a wall, then it's supposed to create this very little decal. So it wasn't designed, and it's supposed to always hit on a flat surface. So those solutions are out there, and they're like, $5-10. But the only ones that I could find that are designed for molding around meshes that are more than a few polygons big, those cost, like $50+.
Well, if that's going to save us time, I don't mind spending the $50.
I think we can do the solution right now. I think this is I can fix it easily. It's just that I didn't do that yet for the big ship. So now that we know that it's something that we want, then I can do it just fine.
I mean, like time is money in a sort of sense. So if these tools already exist, you'd probably spend $50 trying to figure this out yourself when you could just cut corners on that,
Yeah, I tend to agree with Dan.
Like
I've seen Alex spend much more on much less.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase. The solution is already done, and I just need to spend like 30 minutes implementing it for each of the new models. Like the solution,
okay.
if we had this conversation 5 months ago, then it would have saved a few hours of work, but now it's done.
Okay.
Well, then clearly the solution is now we sell our solution for $45.
Right.
There's a good point. Chris makes a really good point.
I mean, if you open that decal like group of scripts and then you just search Control F and then Justin, I documented each time that I changed something and deleted something because I didn't know how badly it would mess it up. Because it has like 0 documentation, so every line of code that I add in that, there is a 30% chance that something is going to break 2 months later.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I had just a couple other questions if we're moving on.
Yeah.
So the seismic lance isn't a technical projectile; it's a raycast that I'm using. How am I handling how shield and hull strength is updated on the enemy ships?
That is a great question. I bet you, if you're asking how does it damage hull?
Well, this is more kind of for Justin because the system's already working for projectiles, but since this isn't a projectile,
there
what am I
is
grabbing off that raycast, basically?
Yeah, so each intelligent agent, so an agent is a thing that moves and does actions and stuff. Each intelligent agent has a function that is the on trigger enter, and that's sort of like if you are something that deals damage, then you have a hitbox, and that hitbox should be a trigger. And therefore, the agent's on trigger enter function will be called, and when it is called, then you decrement health and shield depending on the weapon's health and shield.
But that won't work for the raycast though. Is there?
Could you maybe? Well, all that we would do is
Can I just add another function?
Yeah, you could either make the on trigger enter public and then pass in a null, or just like a new collider or whatever with the tag that we're looking for. That'd be a sort of not a great solution. Or you can just create a new public on damage, on collision or whatever, and then as a parameter just have the weapon as a parameter, and then just have the on trigger function call that. But actually that may also be a problem because that function is meant to be extended by the delegates. So that'll be something that we need to figure out. It's probably not as easy a solution as just create a new function.
Shoot, should I like spawn a projectile at the point of the raycast hit?
You would just need to spawn a collider, and with the on trigger.
Projectile.
Yeah. Can you not? Is it?
Right.
So what are you displaying for the seismic lance? Is that not a game object?
It is, but the game object is just a line renderer.
And basically. You couldn't, because the point of the what's it called? The raycast is just point a line in a direction. Couldn't you just do a capsule collider that's encompassing the entire line?
I guess I could do like a child object that follows the end point of the seismic lance, basically, right?
Well, so you spawn. Okay, so you do the raycast, right? You spawn a raycast. Can't you just calculate so you have the length of the raycast too, because that's just how it works. And then you say if it collides with something, then let's spawn a collision box around this entire thing, the entire ray. And then the next frame update, it'll render a hit for the thing at the end of the collider.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Basically, I'm spawning a projectile because it would have to have the projectile script on it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You just add component collider. Yeah. You don't even have to encompass the entire thing. Just encompass the very end.
I might just have a small collider at the end of the ray.
Yeah, that'd make the most sense. Plus, it'd avoid having to create a whole new system.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be good.
Okay, so then one last thing, now that I'm kind of playing the game and I'm figuring things out and I'm swapping weapons and things like that. Now secondary weapons doesn't necessarily make sense in the context of like or actually, primary weapon. So the intelligent agents have one weapons array. Now the secondary weapons, like the missiles, do we have another array for that? Should we have another array? The
Yes.
cycling through them wouldn't make sense for if everything's in one array. Does that make
No.
sense?
Yeah, 2 arrays.
Butcher. 2 arrays. So is the secondary weapon array, is that going to be unique to the player controller, or is that going to be for every single intelligent agent? Because
actually,
I know the
it should be every
differently.
Yeah, the AI is going to have their own secondary array, like secondary weapons, and then the allies may have their own, so it shouldn't be static.
So it should be a second weapons array for secondary weapons?
Yeah, rename the current weapons array just to primary weapons, and then have a secondary weapons array, and then place it into the intelligent agent class.
Okay. Sounds good. I think that's it for now for me.
Okay. I got stuff I want to show. Can I take over the screen?
I think maybe you can just click the person that you want to see the stream of.
Okay. Okay, let me know when you can see. Yeah, it looks like we're all streaming. Okay, let me know when you can see my screen.
Do I just double click on your icon to do that, or?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So here was you guys can see my stuff, right?
I see it.
Okay. Cool. So I had to learn Dan's method of, not that there's anything so different about the texturing and painting and the whole pipeline of getting it into Unity. It's just I haven't done something like this in a little while. So I thought a good thing to start with would be the power cell from level 3. And so this is the original PS1 model, and then here's mine. And I'm just going to rotate through this a little bit. I kept the overall basic shape, but I mean, there was an opportunity to be kind of creative here on the top. And the nice thing is this is so angular, it was a refresher on UV mapping as well. And so that's kind of where that's at. Let me show you what it looks like, at least in Octane. So we see, you know, the edges and everything, and hang on, let me make this window smaller. And I'll actually be able to step through this animation. So this was really an exercise in, like I said, learning Dan's method, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Now, he has iterated on it. If you notice here, it's really metallic and really shiny, almost too shiny. Granted, these are space objects, but you would imagine some of the metal to be scuffed or dirty or dusty, because who knows how long these sit around in a cargo hold. And so Dan took a crack at the grunge texture, and from what I understand, he was able to produce something very, very convincing. And I'm just waiting on him to upload it to the build. So last week when I changed our seats, because we only have the 3 seats, it took a few days to catch up, but I no longer have access to the cloud, which is all right so long as you guys do. Because Dan has access to all the same models that I do, and he can upload them to the build. So there's this. Which is good, because then if we load up our spreadsheet of the models that we're building, I can turn this one. Okay, I don't care. Wow, my web browser is not responding. So I can turn this one green, so we have that done. And Dan is currently working on the Navy frigate. So yeah, and then I don't know if you guys are following this spreadsheet, but like all the models that we're currently working on, if you have any questions about them, are marked down here, whether it be me or Dan. So as you can see under the Vengeance category, here if I zoom out, let's go 50%. Under Vengeance, we've got almost everything, because these are speculative models. We have nearly everything that we originally set out to make made. There's a couple things we still have to build, but overall the models for the Vengeance demo are pretty much done. So as you programmers start finishing things, you should have access to the original, to the new models in the build.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to hand over the live stream back to Dan.
Hey, everybody.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. I had a busy weekend, and so today I'm going to slowly work on this and get it down. This is the high poly, and I still have to make the low poly. And yeah, right now I'm just kind of like exploring shapes, and I felt that this was a good little opportunity to add these little panels here, and I'm leaving most of it kind of like angular, and I'm going to do a lot of like detailing to get this effect that the original ship has, and it's going to be done in Substance Painter, so I can do all those details there. So the only thing that I'm kind of doing right now is just, like I said, like just looking for like little things to break up the continuity of it a little bit, not too much. And so I think I'm just going to clear up and patch the holes in it, and then I'm going to start the low poly, and then I'll bake everything in Substance Painter and work from there.
Looks great.
Yeah, it does look great. That's awesome.
Yeah, this was fun.
So Matt, you said the build isn't working right now.
Yeah. I don't know if that was just on my end or if it's on your guys' end too. So I'll have to.
Yeah, it's on my end too.
I don't know.
So it's definitely not Discord if you're both having the problem.
Well, we're both on Discord, right?
Yeah, but
I think it was just a crazy coincidence that for some reason both of our Unities crashed at the same time.
Wait, is yours running fine now?
Now it's running, but the program won't load.
Okay.
Unity itself won't load.
No, the program won't load, but at the start Unity didn't load. It's just Unity being Unity, but now it's I think it's a problem with the program.
Let me take a look at one of my backups.
Maybe if one of you guys want to drop out of Discord just long enough to test that theory. That would be really stupid to know that Discord's somehow interfering with Unity.
Yeah, I'll drop out for a minute. That's cool.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So meanwhile, while he's doing that, Chris, you and I should get some time on our calendars this week to spec out the mission briefing for levels 1 and 2 of Colony Wars Reprisal, just so that we have them.
Absolutely.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
I've closed Discord app and the tab that I have with Discord, and I'm like, there's no Discord open. I'm still listening to everything.
It's down in the tray over by the clock. You might have something running in there.
The hell, dude? No, I don't see it. Hold on. All right, go ahead. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's days like this, I love being the writer. So long as I'm present, sober, and wearing pants, I'm already exceeding expectations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes.
In fairness, today I'm only achieving about 50% of that, but still, baby steps.
Baby steps. One step at a time, Chris.
But yeah, no, we can definitely put some time on the calendar later today to hash out those briefings for missions 1 and 2, and to finish flushing out mission 2 a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with what we have in mission 1, and even the backstory. That's something that we could even post somewhere, like on the website, on the Colony Wars Redux website or something like that. We should also probably start a Twitter, just so we can tie the YouTube updates to the Twitter, so that people on Twitter can see whenever we upload a new video.
I don't know, a Twitter might not be bad, just like set up a Twitter and set up an Instagram. and then just push anything that goes onto the site just automatic slash YouTube just automatically gets pushed to Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah. God, when I started the stream, when I started recording, I was not anticipating it to automatically turn my camera on and start recording me. So like the lighting in here looks like crap. I'm just making excuses because I'm ugly.
People are gonna judge you, not
people are gonna judge me.
They're not gonna buy the game anymore.
They're not gonna buy the game
What were
anymore.
you thinking?
They're gonna be like, that guy's lighting sucks. I don't want anything to do with his game.
Yeah. Yeah. So I still see Matt in the channel, but he is gray. It is gray. It's almost like it thinks he lost connection or something.
Well, I guess killing Discord is losing connection.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to start actually showing gameplay footage from the build.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, I can actually talk about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so this week also pretty busy. I actually have a job interview tomorrow for a tutoring position, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
But one thing that's mainly what I'm doing right now and for a fair amount of time in the coming future is that I am basically implementing each of the different states of the AI in the sense that each time the AI wants to do something, it has a outline about what it wants to do. For instance, it says, I want to survey the area. But what I have to do is actually tell it how to survey.
Okay.
And what that is just a very large amount of math involved. There's a lot less game design really because it's a whole bunch of calculating angles, quaternions, trying to figure out what's the best angle to do this thing. It's also about how do I randomize this enough so that the player won't recognize what state it's currently in. So there's a bit of mystery to it. It's also trying to factor in how do the different statistics each AI has. Each AI has like a list of, I think it's 20 different statistics right now that sort of govern what it will do and how it will act in certain scenarios. So it's really just about putting all these together. And if I have this test environment, but I think I'll show that some other time. And it's really just a single enemy ship trying to figure out the best things to do in any situation. But the result, when this finally gets completed, will be a much smarter and better version than the original Colony Wars AI. Hopefully.
Okay, excellent. That's going to be another pain point as the demo gets released. Is we can recreate the graphic assets nearly perfectly, but if the AI isn't convincing, like we walk a thin line, right, between wanting something that feels like it used to and also something that doesn't feel broken, like unfortunately it kind of used to. So that's going to take a lot of tweaking as we get closer to releasing the demo.
Yeah, we're also trying to do collision detection in a way, not necessarily trying to respond to collision, but trying to avoid it, because the original Wars didn't really have that. So it's very difficult also to have an AI go, all right, there's a thing in front of me, I don't want to hit that. I need to swerve to the left, but maybe swerving to the left also makes it so you hit something. So we're actually going to be using machine learning to implement that part. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, that is really exciting.
Yeah, that's all the updates so far.
Okay. Cool. I guess we're just waiting on Matt to get back. It's kind of hypnotic watching Dan model.
Thanks. Yeah, I can go and explain some of the things that I'm doing. Like I have this modifier list, and I use those certain combinations to achieve a look. I do an array, and then that's just kind of copies and pastes the model in a direction. Then followed by a mirror, and then after the mirror, I put a subdivision, and then I'm gonna do a solidify for like an extrusion that I can control and change at any moment. So I kind of like that. That's cool. But
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll put that back down, and Yeah, it's just kind of an easy way to, and the way I work with it is that I make sure that I do, when I'm moving the vertices around onto another model, I just put line rotation to target and then project it in individual elements onto faces, and it allows me to work quickly and move polygons onto adjacent other polygons, and the results are kind of nice because I can go in and do quick changes like this.
Yeah. It's ribbed for her pleasure.
That's right.
That's funny. Justin, it looks like you're sharing something.
Yeah, okay, so try to watch my screen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. There you go.
You can see the game?
Yep, I can see the game.
All right, so I'm sort of trying to hold the PS4 controller in one hand and push to talk to the other. But this is the current game. There
So
it
it's
is.
working now.
Yes, I reverted to an earlier change. But this one also has some interesting particle effects that were implemented that I haven't seen yet. So it's let's see if I can actually do it. This is a seismic lance.
Seismic lance.
Yeah. Then this is the
anti-shield or
yes,
anti-hull. Yeah.
Anti-hull. The new lighting effects, which are very cool.
Yeah.
And then these are the anti-shield.
Okay.
I also like the effects that show up once you actually hit the thing.
Yeah, the little sparkle. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's.
Are they making a noise by any chance?
I have it muted right now, so
okay.
I'll confirm that later. Let's see. I think right now it is not able to be killed, so we won't be able to see what the next stage is. But you can also see sort of an ally over here.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of it's sort of right now has only one state, which is try to attack the thing and then turn around and try to attack again. And it doesn't have, I think maybe it was changed so it can't fire anymore. So it's just sort of desperately
going back
trying
and
to
forth.
deal damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't really understand that that's not possible.
He's gonna intimidate it to death.
Yeah. He's like trying to square up and not really recognizing that his lasers don't work. But
you wanna go, bro? You wanna go?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll have to trust me that there's more.
Let's see the seismic lance again.
Yes. Here it is.
That's so cool.
Let's see.
I didn't realize how big that ship was on the size of the scale of it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's gigantic. Yeah. Yeah, let's see it. Yeah, top down.
Yeah, fly over it. I want to see more than the backside.
Let's see. All right, here it is.
All right, doesn't look that bad.
Yeah. Are your lasers actually causing it to change direction?
It seems to be okay, so this is in
like the lasers have mass.
yeah, that's the thing. I think that may be a bug because it probably shouldn't do that considering
it probably should. Light probably shouldn't have enough mass to alter the trajectory of something that big.
Yes, it really should just sort of hit it and not make it move.
Right. Oh my god,
see if maybe we can add. If we can get the decals working on this thing, then that'll be even cooler because we can have like scorch marks and stuff.
Yeah.
For the
exactly.
lance.
Is that ship eventually going to hit the Earth?
No, there's a skybox.
The Earth is actually a physical thing. I can actually go to it, but it's very, very far away. It's just a flat object though, so I'll just clip through it.
Yeah, it's a PNG. I just made a PNG texture of the Earth.
Look at that ship. Who made that?
Yeah. Oh, there's Matt.
Ew.
Welcome back.
Justin was able to get a build running, and we're seeing it now, and we're seeing your handiwork.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
What did you do to fix it? I went back to my previous version, and it was working fine, so I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, just the last version. Whatever the last one was. It's working for me.
Oh, so it's not crashing anymore. Okay.
Nope.
That's weird.
Let's see. Did you change the amount of shield the enemy has?
I did not.
Because it is
All right.
hurting it. Look at that.
Yes, I think I may know the issue though. I'll get to that later. Oh, it's
it's
almost
also,
dead.
look, the anti-shield laser is also taking from the hull.
All right, there it is. Okay,
There it is.
So now we can actually
Wow. Spectacular graphics.
Spectacular.
And now there is no input. Great. All right. So this
Oh,
is a
it
great
crashed.
demo.
Now you can't put any input.
No, input just isn't working. I'm not
I can
actually
see
sure.
the engine's lighting
Oh.
up, so it is detecting.
Oh yeah. That's interesting observation.
Now it says I have a JavaScript error. I didn't even know we used JavaScript in this project. All right, cool. That's the end of the demo.
Yeah, that's the end.
Well, I'm glad it worked.
Yeah.
It looks very cool.
Did you revert or anything?
I just went to the whatever the previous build was, not the current one. The current one isn't working, but the one before the current one, I just built that version instead.
Okay.
You guys,
Can you roll it back to that, Justin?
Yeah, sure. In a second.
That's so cool. At least we got to see some gameplay today. Everyone I've mentioned this project to has mentioned, oh, show me some gameplay, send me a demo. It's like, hold your horses. This is a little earlier than demo territory.
Yeah, but we're getting there.
We're getting there really fast, too.
What'd you think about the lance?
I loved it. That made perfect sense. My only thing is I really hope that we can reproduce the size and the shape of the anti-shield and the anti-hull lasers. And the seismic lance looked great. The only thing I would do was maybe increase the radius of the beam. It's more like a laser pointer right now. Where if you notice in the original game, it was like big. It was a sizable portion of the ship, like the radius of the beam.
Okay.
But other than that, it looks great. And the impact, like the little particle effects where the lasers make impact, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, you did a great job, dude. It looks great.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you.
Would you
I think the separation between the lasers needs to be a little bit wider.
Wider as far as like across, like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. It should go to the edges of the kind of like circular shape of the ship, right?
Yeah. If you notice in the original, it's funny, the art looks like there's guns on the front of the ship. And if those are guns, that's not where it shoots from in the original game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because I wanted to do like a muzzle flash, but there's no gun barrels on the edges of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the version that I made, I was sort of just spawning them at the sides, just creating just out of thin air, basically, because the thing at front makes it look like it should shoot out of there, but it just doesn't in the game. It doesn't look good if it does.
Cool.
Would you guys be interested if I did some music for it? You know, like because I own Ableton. It's a music software. It's professional, and you know, like I could add some cool synth stuff. You know.
Sure, why not? The original two Colony Wars have a very distinct sound to their music, but for this third one, this original one we're creating, you know, the sky's the limit on that.
I mean, like the cool thing too is that I bought like I was really into music and I bought I have all the string instruments, you know, so I can go in like many directions. I have all kinds of samples.
In the original Colony Wars, was the music synthesized in game, or is it just a single like MP3 file that's run?
They were WAV files. They were recorded WAV
Oh,
files.
gotcha. So okay,
Yeah.
I was wondering if like some games at the time they just had all the instruments as their own thing, and then they like create the music from a different like text file that describes like sheet music basically, and the engine
Yeah, like
itself plays
MIDI.
it.
Yeah, like old '90s games used a lot of MIDI files, which
Mhm.
were instructions to send to your sound synthesizer in your computer, and that's why if
No,
you listen to old MIDI files between computers, they sound ever so different.
the guys who made X-Wing, little nerd fact, they did that exact thing where it was a continuous loop that was like going through MIDI, and when you moused over the door, it would change it like the it would still be the same song but a different chorus.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question for Justin. I forgot. I wanted to ask you. So I need to be able to update the UI. What's the system for doing that?
Could you elaborate a little bit more?
So when you swap weapons right now, you still have the icon for the laser.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So there is a function that gets actually. So when weapons get called, it calls this input manager thing. That's like a callback thing. That is managed by the Unity input system that generates the input manager file. It's some new thing. It wasn't the same system like last year. It's very recent, but I did that allows you to define your own function that gets called each time the button is pressed. And
Right.
I think in the current version, no graphics changes after a button gets pressed. I know the only thing that changed are the side, like the width of some of those bars at the top that display like health and shield and stuff.
Mhm.
But those update every frame. So I think the best place you would look at is the input manager has a callback to some function in the player controller.
Right. Well, that would
And
just be the swap weapon function, right?
yeah, yeah, basically. If that is the correct function, it may be some other function that calls swap weapon. I don't even know.
So
I did
basically, it hasn't been implemented yet, or do you have a
there's
function for changing the icon?
in the case specifically of weapons, the only thing that happens when a weapon is swapped is the actual index of the current weapon changes. There shouldn't be any like graphical thing.
So I should be,
So,
I can get that the icon from the index and then update the UI. Should I
well,
update that UI manager or?
what you should do is, I think there's some kind of function called like, hold on, let me check. I think there's something called like UI manager, some function, some script. And that script deals with updating the size of the bars, and then you should have some new function in there that's called
Okay.
change swap image of a weapon or whatever. And
Does
then
that UI manager have access to the weapons, or is it a
yeah,
static
well,
class? Should I call it as a static class on the?
I think the UI manager. No, the UI manager isn't static. The UI manager is a class that you access through the general manager, which is something that it's basically it's hard to explain. Do you know have you seen what the general manager is?
I haven't looked at it yet. Now.
Okay, so it's a way of assigning things in the inspector that because okay, so how you can't assign static variables in the inspector.
Right.
So if you create one object of something, it basically is static if it fulfills that purpose.
Okay.
So what I did is that I have a general manager which is static, and it statically accesses non-static variables, which is hard to explain, but the purpose of that is that you can like from some class you could do general manager dot and then you could get the non-static variable, which is very helpful. And UI manager is from that class if UI manager actually exists, in which case you should create a function that switches the image given a weapon, and the weapon should have a new parameter called image or whatever.
All right. And
That
I'm
makes any
doing
sense.
that from the intelligent agent
You
when
could do it
just
from anywhere.
okay.
I mean, intelligent agent would well, player controller would make the most sense because the
Okay,
other
yeah,
ones
yeah.
aren't changing images.
I think the swapping function is on the intelligent agent, though, isn't it?
If it is, you can extend it.
Okay.
If it is, you should extend it.
All right, sounds good.
Cool. Okay, so as far as next week, Dan and I are going to continue modeling the models we need for Vengeance before we move on to the original game or the new game. We're so close to finishing all the assets for Vengeance, we might as well stay there. Chris and I are going to sync up and we're going to finish the mission briefings for the new game, the 3 levels from the new game. Matt and Justin, it sounds like you guys kind of know what you need to work on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then we just go from there. And we'll just record our next meeting next week, and hopefully we could play test. We could do more play testing next week too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yep.
Cool.
Alex, can I steal you for a minute once the recording stops?
Yeah, totally. I'll
Cool.
stay in channel. So,
right.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks a lot, and I will see you guys next week.
All right, thank you.
Later, man.